What's up? Welcome to another episode of What You Think right here. Broadcast live from downtown Las Vegas. I'm your host, Quan59, and we have the man, the myth, the legend, Jamal Hill back in the building. How you feeling?
Feeling good, brother. Feeling good. Had a nice weekend. Went back, got some good sparring rounds in. I'm back training. And yeah, bro.
How's it feel to be back training?
Feels good, bro. Feels good. You know, I know it sounds weird, but got punched in the mouth, got a little bit of a black eye, you know, and I love it.
All right.
I love it.
You love it.
Best job I ever had.
Yeah?
Best job I ever had.
Have you ever got fired from a job?
Yup, I've been fired.
What kind of job?
I was fired from a factory job. Yeah, I was fired from a factory job once.
Pull that mic up a little bit.
This other factory
you
job
got your midnight voice on right now.
This other job I was at, it's pretty much given an ultimatum because the supervisor had did like some what I felt like was some foul S. And it was like pretty much I had to like take like anger management classes and some other things like that. And I was like, yeah, bro, I'm not finna do that. So I just kind of let that job go.
Wow.
Yeah, it was crazy.
I'm making sure we're live. There we go.
I think we are.
All right. Please share the live stream if you're watching live. Let us know what you think in the comments. We will be reading comments tonight, so let us know what you think. And we have some special guests on the line, Jamal.
We do.
So I'm going to let you go ahead and introduce them because you hit me up today. We were supposed to have other people on that couldn't make it, and then they filled in last minute for us. So we appreciate it. But Jamal, go ahead and introduce them.
Yes, we have from the Misbehaved Women's Podcast, I believe if I said that right, podcast. We have the lovely Jessica Panay. How you doing? Former UFC strawweight. Now is doing her thing on these podcast streets. I see. And we also have her co-host, the lovely Donna.
That's me. Donna Gonzalez.
Donna Gonzalez.
You got it right.
All right, I got it.
He was scared he wasn't going to get it right.
Names.
Yeah, he's terrible.
I'm terrible.
I was holding my breath. I wasn't sure how that would go.
I'm terrible with names.
It's all right. I got you.
It's my first time doing the introduction. We didn't talk about this. Quan just kind of sprung it on me. So, you know, I like to think I adjust well.
You did good.
You did good. You got my first name. I'll take it.
Proud of you. You're growing up right before my eyes, bro.
One day.
One day. All right. So first of all, introduce yourselves. How long you been doing this podcast?
Well, I'm newly joined to it. Donna's has had an existing podcast called Misbehaved Women Podcast, and she was kind enough to share the seat with me. And so we have just published our 11th episode. So we're in the building phase and we're having fun.
Having fun, having some conversations, huh?
Mm-hmm. I started
stuff
the
in the
pod.
comments on Instagram.
Yeah, I started the pod. My favorite quote is "Well-behaved women rarely make history." So I don't consider myself to be a well-behaved woman, and I want to talk to other women who are also misbehaved. So that's why we started it.
Man, that's crazy. That's a crazy statement. It's a crazy statement. Plenty of well-behaved women made history. Mother Mary. I mean,
yeah.
I would say she was pretty well behaved. I would say
Eve. Oh no, she messed up everything for us.
Oh yeah.
I think that was Adam. Adam actually flipped the story on that one.
I don't know.
Oh, so this is what we doing.
I don't know if it's Adam's
this
fault.
is what we doing.
Has a man ever has a woman ever actually made a man do something that he didn't want to do, or are men just responsible for their own actions?
Yes.
No, it's always women's fault.
No, yes, she has.
That shouldn't even be a question.
No man wants to give up half their stuff. Not one. No man wants to pay for the house. You know what? We're getting ahead of ourselves.
Yeah,
here.
we're gonna get into that.
We're getting ahead of ourselves here.
We're gonna get into that. Okay.
We got some good topics. To
What
talk
we
about.
always do on the show first is ask our guests who their favorite sports teams are, because we talk a lot about sports. So, Jessica, I'll start with you. 4 major sports, and throw in the WNBA, because I'm sure as a woman you're a WNBA fan. But give us your favorite teams in all 4 major sports.
Well, I'm an Orange County girl, so I grew up watching the Angels, the Anaheim Ducks. From Southern California, we used to have the Raiders. Still rooting for them, even though they moved to Vegas. And that's it.
Okay. What about WNBA?
Yeah.
I don't follow it. The only thing I follow are the headlines currently.
Oh, interesting. Interesting. A lot of women we talk to don't even watch women's sports, so I don't know. It's just an observation we have. But Donna, same question to you.
Who are my favorite sports teams, or what are my favorite sports to watch?
Like NBA, NFL, NHL.
I watch jiu-jitsu and MMA.
So you don't watch any other
That's not
sports?
team sport, though.
No other sports.
I will watch any San Diego-based team. I live here. I love San Diego.
Okay.
So I'll go to any San Diego-based team sport, no matter what it is.
So that would be.
So Padres.
Padres, Wave. I have not been, but I would love to go to like one of the rugby matches.
No, my bad. Go ahead.
No, Warriors
I
are
will
northern.
go to any live sporting event. I love live sporting events. But the only sports that I have time to watch recreationally, well, it's mostly jiu-jitsu. I'm a
So not
jiu-jitsu
just-
coach. I'm slightly obsessed with my sport, so I spend all of my time watching jiu-jitsu. But I will. I watched the as many games of the World Cup. I will watch Olympic Games. And yeah, I watched women's teams. I don't have any teams that I follow specifically other than probably the Padres, but I will watch any sporting event that like I've heard about or that excites me or that if I hear headlines about it and I do want to follow like an athlete that I've heard about, I'll go watch it.
Right.
But the only sports that I seek out are jiu-jitsu. I gotta be honest.
Said the Chargers. The Chargers are no longer there. They're in LA now.
Yeah, they're in
Yeah, that's right. And I'm from
now.
LA, but I live in San Diego now.
So do you still
and I
root
would
for
have
the
watched them
Chargers?
there. Yeah.
You still rep the Chargers?
I don't rep anybody. Except for jiu-jitsu.
Look, I almost got the singing Chris Brown in here. I ain't gonna say nothing though.
No. I rep 10th Planet. That's who I rep.
Okay. It's a franchise.
It's not a franchise.
It's a lot of places. It's in a lot of places.
There are a lot of 10th Planets, but we are not a franchise. Every school is licensed directly through Eddie, and it's not a franchise.
You literally just described a franchise.
No, it's a license. No, franchises, if it was a franchise, Eddie would dictate exactly what everybody taught, and it would have to look the same. Like when you go into a McDonald's, it's a McDonald's, right? And
he does regulate
exactly
what they teach. They teach jujitsu.
But Eddie doesn't define what any of our curriculums are.
But it's still jujitsu.
Correct, but
so, like, all right. So I'll give you an example.
Planet,
like you can walk into a McDonald's.
You asked.
Like
I'm giving you. So if you walk into a McDonald's, the menu is exactly the same wherever you go, right? And it looks the same, and it's decorated the same. It's a McDonald's.
But you can order it however you want.
A 10th Planet. The only thing that is uniform among all of us is that it's run by a 10th Planet black belt, but we all determine what the vibe of our schools, what they look like, and literally what we teach.
All right.
So you can have a 10th Planet and not teach jujitsu.
You can have a 10th Planet and have it be an MMA focused school. You can have a 10th Planet that has no-gi and gi, and you can have a 10th Planet that's strictly no-gi. So they don't look exactly alike, even though.
So yes or no answers is not really a thing, huh?
They're a jiu-jitsu school.
So it has to be taught jiu-jitsu. So I'm not saying how that differs from a franchise.
A franchise. If it was a franchise, Eddie would run everything, and everybody would just.
He gets paid from every school that opens up.
He gets a license agreement. Yeah, he gets paid through our licensing.
He gets paid through every school that opens up. That's a franchise.
But he doesn't dictate how we run our businesses.
Doesn't have to dictate he dictates what's taught there. That's like saying like, if I went into McDonald's, McDonald's isn't gonna tell me I can't get it without cheese or I can't add extra pickles or extra mayo.
Well, it's a jiu-jitsu school for sure, but
saying?
what I'm telling you is our license agreement is not specifically a franchise. It's a license agreement with him.
You got it.
And it has started already. All right, tell us about the podcast real quick. What's the podcast about?
Nothing and everything.
Nothing and
kind of like you
everything.
guys. Yeah, kind of like you guys. We have a topic that one of us wants to talk about. We'll bring it to the table and see what the other one thinks about it, and then we'll have a discussion.
We're
Okay.
more so like sports, and then
Yeah, we're
we
sports, and
sprinkle
then the
in
second half is
the
usually
second half is usually
random topics. But yeah, a lot of the
but
same.
mainly
Yeah.
sports. I want to get the sports fans in here.
For sure.
Get the guys talking about the season. We got a season coming up. It's going to be a good
Wait,
one.
what
It's
are
gonna
your
be a highly
teams? You guys asked
competitive.
us what's your team besides what do you watch? What is that? Oh, Detroit.
Yeah,
Big
one
he
pride.
don't have a lot of
Big one. Pride.
successful sports teams over
Well,
there.
watch yourself, bud. Watch yourself.
Detroit Lions.
Champions all
Wait,
through the
Detroit
board.
Lions? Champions of what?
NFC
Of
North,
last place?
NFC North champions.
Wow.
I'm in NFC North champions.
Yeah, he likes a lot of Detroit teams. I'm born and raised in Vegas, so most of my teams are Southern Cal. Lakers, Dodgers, 49ers, Northern Cal.
But I'm also NBA. I'm Pistons, but I'm also a LeBron's fan. So Philly, here we come. Wherever the king goes, that's where we go.
All right.
Yeah.
That's just how it goes.
All right, more favorites since you guys didn't really have any favorite sports teams. Favorite movies? Give us like 5 of your favorites. Jessica, I'll start with you.
Top 5. Let's say top 3.
You don't have to say top, but just
I mean, five is a lot. You guys are
Yeah,
really
top
demanding right now.
do you watch movies?
Wow, the gaslighting.
Yeah, of
Gaslighting
course.
is
Of course
crazy.
I do. Gaslighting? How's that gaslighting?
We're demanding. How are we demanding? We just asked the question, man.
Yeah, you could pass.
Well,
if
that
you
was
want.
my interpretation. I really like Stardust. That's probably my favorite movie. Really good. Kind of all that's coming to mind, honestly. I like more so watching, like binge watching shows.
So you like more shows than movies?
Yeah, like right now, Apple TV is probably my favorite. Anything on Apple TV is great.
Okay.
So no specific shows or
No.
movies.
More so genres like thrillers, murder mystery, that kind of thing.
So you can't fire off 3 of your top movies of all time. Like, all right, let me preface it. If you could watch it again for the first time, what are 3 movies you
Ooh.
would watch again for the first time?
I couldn't tell you.
She's a little
lacking
difficult,
a little
huh?
emotion.
She's a little difficult.
Lacking a little emotion here.
Jessica's a little difficult.
Lacking a little emotion, feeling whatever it is that you're feeling that was, I mean? But Don.
All right, Donna,
Donna, my bad.
Okay. Well, I'm here.
Wonder Woman. Oh, she got a
Yeah.
lot of Wonder Woman there.
All right. Wonder Woman will always be my favorite everything. Lord of the Ring franchise, probably Goonies. And that's can the Lord of the Ring be one? I like any superhero movie, so love the like the Avengers franchises, and I like Harry Potter franchise. When I'm sick, I tend to watch like Disney movies. I like to watch Moana when I'm sick, like in bed, like I've been this weekend. Or I'll watch anything with like magical fantasy stuff.
Okay. Did you watch the new Supergirl movie?
Haven't seen it yet, no.
Okay. I won't ask you about it then. All right. Jessica, you going to talk to us tonight, though, or are you going to be quiet all night?
Sorry, I'm having such a hard time hearing you guys, and the camera is so delayed. Like I feel like I'm not even in the same room as you guys.
You
Yeah.
want to log out and log back in?
Maybe. I don't know.
What's
I
your
think the
Wi-Fi?
headphones or
Wi-Fi
something.
signal.
Yeah. Did you pay for your internet this month?
I did. Yeah.
Okay.
Have you
It's on
troubleshot?
auto-pay.
Have you troubleshot your router lately, ma'am? Have you?
Have you tried turning the power on
think
and
it's
off
good.
again?
I have. It's just like, I feel
30
like a really
seconds.
bad lag. So it's not really working for me right now.
Okay.
All right.
Well, let's play their real, Jamal. You want to play that? You want to start with that?
Let's get into it. I thought
Let's
we were going
go.
to talk about the UFC.
Oh, you want to start? Let's start with UFC.
Start with the
UFC 330
You know?
just happened. What are your thoughts? I thought it was a dope card.
I thought it was pretty good. I thought it was a fairly good, fairly entertaining card. A lot of the fights, a lot of my boys fought. You know, not all of them was able to come out with the victory, but I think all in all, the fights were good. You've seen Dante Johnson. He came out and he did what I pretty much figured he would do. Chitty looked good.
But like
Mixing
that,
it
he
up.
knocked that dude out cold.
Yeah.
And he elbowed the ref and almost knocked the ref out cold.
Ooh.
Right. Double knockout.
Which ref was it?
Double knockout.
Was it
I
Goddard?
don't know.
No, it wasn't someone we
I don't know
knew.
this guy. It wasn't.
I don't think it was like a regular
He might have
UFC
been
ref.
he might have been like a local guy.
Yeah.
But hey, look, I sent him a text message whenever he first got there because I talked to him. He let me know whenever he first got the fight. I believe that might have been the other phone.
Jessica, can you hear us better without the
Other
headphones?
phone.
Not really. No, I like my setup is really failing me right now.
But yeah,
You guys are really far
out.
away.
Hmm.
And if I go back onto my laptop, it's really blurry, so I'm not really sure what to do. Just go on without me.
Well, we can hear
Go
you.
on
We can hear
without
You can
you.
me.
hear you. You're like it's perfect.
I know, but I can barely hear you guys. I don't know what to do. So
Have you turned up the volume on your laptop? I mean, your phone?
obviously.
I mean, it's not always obvious.
It's not always obvious.
It's not always obvious.
You might not be all that tech savvy. We don't know these things. All right,
Sometimes it's just plugging it in. You never know.
ladies, where's the grace at? Where's the grace at? You got a couple guys here. We're trying to do the best we can here. We got a little. Oh, you're demanding over here. You can't hear you obviously over here. What are we doing? What
I'm
we
sorry.
doing?
I'm trying to participate, but yeah. Just keep going on. I'll try and jump in when I can hear you
All
guys.
All right, Dante Johnson won. Shout out to Coach Justin James. He wanted to get on the show tonight, but he couldn't because he's teaching a class at Extreme, so he couldn't get on. But we have to get Dante on.
Yeah, man. I'm gonna
Get him in the studio. Hey, we can do another show this week.
Yeah, for sure,
Yeah.
definitely. He's got a good story. Dude is crazy, crazy talented. As he starts to hone it in and he starts to learn the game and fully understand the game at this level, it's gonna be a nasty dude to deal with.
And he started at heavyweight, right?
Yeah, he was a big boy.
Yeah.
He was a big boy before. I think he said he was almost 300 pounds.
Man.
Got down, now he's 185. Dude's
Dang.
shredded, good gas tank, good power, good movement, good athleticism. Think we got a good one here.
Yeah, that was definitely a crazy knockout. Then we got someone else. Lost some teeth.
Oh
Freaking knocked
yeah.
some of my lower teeth out with the flying knee.
Ooh.
Right here.
Yeah, it's serious. But listen, it shows how tough you are.
But hey, I don't give a though. It is what it is. I could get that fixed. I might be talking with a lisp right now, but damn it, I'm going home with 2 seconds, so I get it fixed with one of my chicks.
Well, Trayshawn, I want you to enjoy this because this is the biggest victory of your career.
That's his tooth right there.
Phenomenal performance. Was that one of your teeth? You get some new teeth. Congratulations,
yeah,
sir.
Man, that's one of my tooth on the bottom. But as I said, I don't give a damn. You know, I'm here to stay, and I'm gonna show that today. It was okay of a performance, but I know I got more in the tank to offer, and I'll show that each time.
So that was Vicente Luque knee to the jaw and knocked out at least 2 teeth, right? At least his 2 bottom teeth.
I counted 3.
Count of three? Yeah.
But the good thing is the UFC will pay for him, bud. Don't worry about it. They got you covered on this one. Hey, it happened in
Do
the
they
fight.
cover that?
It happened in the
Yeah,
fight.
they've,
Yeah, they
get
covered
teeth
it.
knocked
filed
out?
down my teeth. They filed down my teeth before. They'll take care of all the.
I'll get you a new set of choppers there.
Yeah.
All right.
Jamal, you ever get a tooth knocked out at all?
No.
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 I mean, it's still
want
not
chips.
like having your own teeth, right?
want
Like
chips.
they're gonna fix it for you. You can have some fake teeth, but it's still those are your
I
teeth.
don't know. Modern dentistry is pretty advanced.
Yeah.
That's
I mean, some of
pretty
these fake teeth are better than real teeth.
good. That fight was good though.
Yeah.
That was a good fight. He did his thing. It was a little comeback. Vicente Luque showed he still got it, and he still got it. He still can be dangerous. I liked it. Good scrap. I approve.
Yeah. And then our boy Charles Johnson with a crazy what do they call it?
Comeback, man.
Scottish twister.
It looked like just a twister to me, like a modified twister.
Yeah, they were
Right.
calling it a Scottish twister on.
Let me see it.
Oh, let me pull it up.
Yeah, because pretty nasty stuff. And it was good, bro. He came back because like my man's was giving him some fits there at the beginning.
But that's Charles' game, right?
Yeah.
Like he's always,
Stay on the
first
pace
two rounds,
regardless
slow
of what
pace. Third
happens.
round, he comes and does what he does every time. Let me find his fight.
Just want to see him work behind the jab more. Just want to see that jab more. Popping out, setting up, working through the follow through.
Here it is right there. We'll let it roll again.
The crazy amount of different ways he just pulls out, come from behind, wins.
Right there.
It's like more of an executioner than a twister.
Absolutely nasty.
Yeah.
Congrats. Shout out to the energy.
And that was the first fight for his opponent in the UFC. It was late notice for him. Charles had another opponent that something happened with the camp, like someone died or something in the camp of the guy he was supposed to fight.
Oh, I didn't know why he pulled out.
Yeah, so that's why he ended up pulling out. And then this dude stepped in, ended up being a catch weight. But shout out Charles, man. That was his fourth fight this year. And we still got a lot of months left in this year, Jamal. He's going to get at least 5, right?
Gonna get at least 5 of them. Boy, I like collecting checks. I love to see it. He got a bonus.
He got a
for
bonus.
that, too.
Got the 100,000.
I think that was like the first time somebody ever pulled something like that.
Yeah.
It's good stuff.
So I'll
Congratulations,
shout out
bro.
Charles. He was going to be on with us tonight too, but he's traveling. So yeah, man, we have to do another show this
So
week
you
because we have
got
a lot
us.
of people to talk. I mean, he was going to get on with you guys, so we had you locked down already.
Yeah, see? He's a lot nicer than I am. It's like, I'm
There
trying
you
to
can
be
sit over.
nice.
You need to let more people see your sweet side, Jamal.
I'm always sweet. I'm sweet
Huh.
dreams. I'm sweet
Jessica,
dreams,
who
baby.
does that sound like?
What are we talking about? I'm sweet. I'm sweet dreams, baby. I'm always sweet.
Let us know in the comments. Do you think Jamal's sweet?
Hey, whoa. Don't get it twisted, bro.
Leave
Ain't
a-
nothing sweet, bro. Ain't nothing sweet, bro. Don't get it twisted. Don't go in the comments getting too wild. Don't get too out of hand here, fellas. Don't get too
Yeah.
out of hand here.
Charles just texted me back too, but
Oh, I'm sorry, though.
so we might get Charles on tomorrow. Can you come through tomorrow? Oh, contenders tomorrow.
Yeah.
We'll figure it out.
Yeah, we do.
All right, we have another guest on the show tonight. She's the host of War Council, or the voice of War Council. But we got Adair
Hi.
in the studio with us.
I look terrible. I always get on this show looking bad. Hi, guys.
Hi.
Hey.
Say
Do I
what's
need
up to
put
Adair.
have my headset on?
Sure,
Is it this one?
sure.
Yeah.
Oh, gosh. I don't use
It's the only way we can hear them.
They all do the same thing.
Okay, that's better. Get some. of my
Jess,
hair
can
out
you
of the
hear
way.
us better?
Scoot over a little bit
Yes,
to
actually,
your
yes.
This way?
yeah, right there is perfect.
So it was the
Got a
headphones.
Playboy shirt
Wasn't
on.
us. Why you trying to blame it on us? Put it off on
I
us.
wasn't trying to blame
Wait,
it.
what happened?
I felt blamed.
Did you fix it?
I felt blamed.
She fixed her problem.
I felt blamed.
Did you have to turn the volume up?
No, I just took the headphones off and you guys seem just a little bit clearer and closer. It was really hard to hear.
Yeah.
Hey, shout out to my man Jit MMA in the chat.
Oh, the
Always
laser
here.
eye dude.
Hey man, it's the number one guy right now. It's the number one guy right now.
I mean, we're gonna have to charge him if he keeps getting these shout outs on the shows. No, but shout out to him.
He put
man.
in his time.
Yeah.
He put in his time. He's put in a lot of time.
So I thought, you know how sometimes people are a fan of yours, but I mean, I don't know this because I don't have any fans like you. But somebody might be a fan, but you think it might be just because of they went on your live and they saw you right then, so they're acting like a fan right now.
Yeah.
Dude, I went to his page.
Yeah.
And he has your laser eyes on like every UFC card for like the
everything.
last year, maybe even longer. I quit scrolling after a while.
Well, he been rocking. He been rocking for years. I seen him in the comment section years ago. He constantly going to war.
Yeah.
Constantly going to war for me.
So you know how most people will do like either circle or X on the UFC card. He puts Jamal's face on the winner or loser
I think he puts it on the loser with the
with your
but
laser
he puts
eyes.
it on the laser eyes. So if it's red, he's not really he's not sure. He's got a look. He's uncertain about the pick. If it's yellow, it's medium. He's kind of middle of the pack. If it's green, it's a go. Bet the house. That's how he does it.
You can see it right there. An
So
example.
I think of it more so as just showing you his pick and then side by side. Hey, look, he even takes accountability when he's wrong. Look at this. You see that? Whenever he was wrong, he put the X on him. What's not to love about this guy?
I've never heard of anyone going on the fence bet before. Never seen that before.
He's just giving you in his level of certainty.
Mm.
He's going to tell you what he's thinking, and he's going to tell you his level of certainty.
Yeah. All right. Let's move on from UFC because we're going to talk about it later this week.
Yeah,
we're going to get some people in the studio and actually get on that more. But Jamal, why'd you bring them on? Why'd you bring them on?
Love. Well, they had a video. They had a reel earlier that we're gonna play, and I commented on it. Then we kind of started going a little back and forth. I started 2 conversations with both of these ladies.
You went back and forth?
This happened? I didn't know about this.
It was a discussion.
Okay.
I want her on because I love Jess. That's why I want her on. But it's not my show.
But this is why we then started talking, have a conversation. I'm like, hey, just come by the podcast tonight and let's talk about it. So with the people in the chat, with you, I want to know what everybody thinks. It's not just about what we think. We want to know what you all think. So let's do it live.
Yeah, it's called What You Think, so we want everyone to let us know what you think. So we're going to play this reel, and in the comments, let us know what you think, and then we'll let you know what we think. And the discussion might get heated. I don't know. I haven't really watched the full reel, so I'm not even sure what it's about. So we're going to all watch it together for the very first time.
Nobody's business.
Well, first of all, it's a million. It's a million. So however many you think that I've slept with, and if that bothers you, it's that number. It's, you know what I mean? Like I've slept with 1 million people. Get out of my face.
Yeah.
You know what I mean?
Yeah.
Like nobody knows, and unless I tell you, so it can't be that important.
It's nobody's
It
business.
can't be a thing.
I thought it was
You know
going
what
to
I
be
mean?
about sports.
And if it is so important to somebody, then that's not the type of person that I personally would want to be in a relationship with.
No.
Yeah.
No. It going with like body count too. I've heard men in debates talking about this. Well,
Yeah.
if she has slept with this many people, but like it doesn't matter how many people Dave slept with.
Correct.
Like
it's
body
never
count,
that. Yeah.
It never matters. And they look at people with body count and they don't take into consideration life experiences,
Yep.
age, anything.
Well, why doesn't matter? I need somebody to tell me why it matters, because unless somebody tells you, there's no other way for you to determine what that number is.
Yeah.
So it's not a physical thing.
It can't matter that way.
Mm-mm.
You know what I mean?
It doesn't, but I think that there's just this very archaic idea,
I know.
this old school mentality where it does, because somebody's father's father told them that it matters and women have to be this certain way,
Like this purity culture where it's like this thing to be protected. Please.
You can follow the Misbehaved Women podcast. So make sure you follow them. I thought it was going to be about jujitsu, but that took a
I got
turn.
opinions
I
on
thought she
that
was talking
too.
about money.
Yeah, I thought it was going to be money. I didn't know. You
didn't
talking
see
about a
this clip
million?
before.
Talk about a billion penises.
I was like, a
We're
million?
talking-
Okay. And it was like,
That's a
penis.
lot.
Like, oh, wait.
That's a lot. A million is a. That's a
My
shit
point
ton.
is, it doesn't. The entire point is, it doesn't matter.
To who?
To
right?
who?
To who?
Exactly. Like if you are in a relationship with somebody, there are absolutely things that do matter. But since you can't tell the exact number of somebody's partners, unless they are honest with you and tell you, you'll never know what that number is. So
But you can know when
that's
there's
not
too
something
many.
to care about. Huh?
You can know when there's too many.
There's no way
'Cause
for you to know
after
unless she's honest with you.
100% there is.
There's no way for you to know unless she's honest.
There's
with
no
you.
way to know a number.
There's
but
no.
there's
You
a
don't
way
have to know the exact number, but you can know when now there's too many sausages that hit this. It's a little too far going. at
How
this
can you
point.
tell? Tell me.
Huh?
How can you tell?
How can I tell?
Yeah.
How she acts, how she speaks about men, her patience, her reserve. It's a lot of different things. There's a lot of different ways that you can tell whenever a woman has
Couldn't
dealt
those
with
things
so
be
many.
determined by her age and
that-
her experience and her lived life up until that point, and not specifically the number of people that she's been with?
Well, first you gotta let me finish my points. Whenever I'm saying things, I'm gonna let you finish whenever you saying things. But in certain areas, these are certain things that you will only lose patience with through different, like a certain amount of relationships.
What's the number?
If that makes sense. Well, scientifically, they say after
I got Google
7,
right here. Let's find out.
After 7, I believe it's after 7, 5 to 7. After 5 to 7, the ability to pair bond is kind of like.
So explain pair bonding as it relates to men and women having sex. Because from what I understand about pair bonding.
I thought you asked me a question.
No, go on. I will respond to whatever you say.
All right. So pair bonding is pretty much your ability to actually bond with somebody on like a certain on an emotional level after you've had sex with so many people. Like, well, just your ability to bond, you still feel like this is the person, or stick out through rough patches in relationships and things of that nature. Women are a lot more likely to divorce and leave their men after they've had sex with so many men. And I believe a good portion of that is because, like, after so many, it's just like doing like jumping jacks or push-ups. Like, after you've done so many, what's another one? You get what I'm saying?
Isn't that what happens to men too?
It can.
Wouldn't that be like anybody?
It can to a degree, but it's not it's not really. It's not necessarily the same. See, men and women aren't the same.
I'm not disagreeing.
So I believe the reason for that is because, like, it's the way we even get to sex is not the same, right? If a woman wants to hit a bat 100%, she can literally go out any night and sleep with however many dudes. Men don't have that ability. So if a man is like able to sleep with like multiple women, he has to inherently have some type of value. Whereas if a woman is just
I think
out
that women
sleeping
could
whenever,
sleep with a lot of men if they didn't have standards and they didn't have like certain things they were looking for. But if you know what I mean, like if you were just willing to sleep with anybody.
But that's the thing. That's what a high body count tells us.
Really? What if it was a person who maybe has just been single for a long time? And here's my bigger point is all the things that everybody cares about, right? Behaviors and
Everybody as in who? Because men and women aren't the same. What women care about in their partner, men aren't going to care about to the same degree because we are different and we seek different things within each other.
Go look on our comments, and it's things like people have talked about being emotionally damaged or men feeling insecure about how many partners their partners had.
I don't think
my
it's that.
point is, huh?
I don't think it's that. I don't think men insecurity about how many partners you have. I don't think.
You don't think men get insecure about that stuff?
I think it's just a preference.
There is
whose preference?
Theirs. The man's.
Theirs who? Are you talking about men or women? Because everybody has preferences.
The man's preference. That's what we're talking about. You just said, I don't.
Right. So it's like no matter what her life experience is and what she's either come away with or grown or healed from, the only thing that matters is the number.
You said what?
I think she's saying. Let me know if I'm right.
Go ahead.
I think what you're asking is maybe an exception to a number. Like if there's a number that's too high, and if that number is high, do we take into consideration their lifestyle, how they got there? Is that kind of what you're asking, or are you saying if it's just a flat across number, no matter what they've been through, where they're from?
Why is the number more important than who the person is? Like, let's say
because the number just reflects who the person is.
But it doesn't.
How doesn't it? Because it's her choice. She had a choice. So here's the thing. Women understand men think this way, right? So by disregarding that men think this way, you're basically telling men to just accept this or change their preferences or something like that because she might have been out here by herself. She might have been going through some things and she figured it out on a bunch of different men. You get what I'm saying? Like she understood that she would be judged this way whenever she did that. So that speaks to her decision making.
That's their thinking. I think that people have life experiences, they learn and grow, and they move on to the next, they learn and grow. And I don't think anybody has the intention of, just having a high body count and there being repercussions for it when that was.
So you mean like if you girls are basically saying like if she was in a relationship, like if you were in your mid 40s, right, and you have had a certain number, right? You've obviously had more relationships, so you're probably going to have a higher body count. Is that what you're saying, kind of?
Yeah, I don't think it's ever intentional just to, I don't know, maybe it is. Maybe it is when you're in your younger 20s.
But that goes back
I've met a lot of girls where it's intentional.
But that goes back to the pair bonding thing, right? Because now, all right, she's been in how many relationships? So I'm supposed to believe that this one's gonna work out. I'm pretty sure you've had good times with this guy. I'm pretty sure you've had good moments with this guy. I'm pretty sure you had feelings and moments where you felt like this was gonna last forever, and it still didn't turn out that way.
Yeah,
you get what I'm saying? So where's the incentive at for the guy to believe
because hopefully you're
matter.
Both showing up as whole human beings that had life experiences.
That's a lot of hope.
And now you've decided that this is the person that I want to, grow with and continue down my life path with. And what I've been arguing is who you were as a person led you to that person when you decided to be in that relationship. And we all are coming in with our own life experiences, and that specific number doesn't matter. I'm not saying that choices and life experience and maybe trauma and what you're bringing with you don't matter, but it's not about the exact number.
So let's talk about what comes with let's talk about what comes with that number, right? So like any dude, any situation you can think of where she ended up eventually sleeping with that guy, she imprinted on that guy, he imprinted on her in some type of way. So she learned something about men, maybe it was, and then if they're not together, probably something that she didn't like that she's now going to carry over on to the next man. So that's the trauma. No, that's not. That's not. No, that's not always good. No, that's not always good.
Learning something about yourself from another person and then growing from it is not good.
Not always. No. No, because here's the thing: women don't handle trauma well. You know what I'm saying?
Excuse
women
me?
aren't.
So
Women don't handle trauma well.
Wait, are we talking about trauma or just learning in life? Like it has to be something like drastic.
It don't
crazy,
even have to be
or are
some.
we
It
just
don't
talking
even have
about
to be some
normal learning?
drastic or crazy. Even like I talked to, like I was talking to Jess earlier. If you've gone out and you've dated all these men, and you've dated this guy that was able to take you here, there, and there. Men want their women to like feel like be appreciated, be impressed by the things that they do. After a woman that's dated around and dated so many men on so many different levels, this man can no longer impress you. He can no longer show you anything or you know what I mean, or give
you have to work harder
real
to impress her?
experience. Why?
Yeah,
So
I
why do
don't
I have?
know
Why would
that's
I?
exactly-
But here's the thing: you have to work harder to impress you. You get what I'm saying? But I hear women say this like that's just nothing. Why can't a man just like feel liked by his girl? You get what I mean? Like feel like appreciated, like little things like that, the little things that he might be able to do, be appreciated.
What makes you think that they don't? When you're in a relationship with
After
somebody,
you've
the
been
little
somewhere
things
so
are
many
what make
times,
the
it's not.
relationship.
I
Excuse-
actually
say it again?
I actually have something I want to speak on and I'm going to speak on and I'm saying this from a scientific perspective, not what I think, not really what I believe, but what science does tell us. And when humans have had too many sexual partners, it does affect their ability to pair bond, both men and women. Men and women also release, for the most part, about 80% of the same hormones when they're having sex, right? But those hormones are processed in our body differently. They show up differently. So we both release oxytocin, which they call the love hormone. It's the hormone that allows you to feel attached to somebody. But the way oxytocin is shown, well, not shown because it looks the same. The way it's released with men is different than it is with women. Men like the way it feels physically. Women like the way it makes them feel. And there is a difference in that. Now, I'm not saying like one is exempt, because it's not. Nobody's exempt from their brain. I say this all the time when these arguments come up. Like it's for some reason, like women go through all this and men don't. They skate free from everything.
But
nobody skates free from the brain and what it does when you do something over and over and over again at some point. But for women, and you girls will agree with me, we have an ability to be very, very cold and mean and cut it off. We get there a lot faster than men do. And when we have experiences back to back, our tolerance level, our window of tolerance for men and being in relationships, it does get a lot shorter because we don't have the patience. We don't want to deal with anymore.
And that patience drains away. Like, is this not the same patience that you had with the first guy that you were with, that first boyfriend? You get what I'm saying? So the more times that happens, the less that you have for the guy that would actually be willing to give you everything and be willing to spend, you know what I mean, spend that time to, you know what I mean, those feelings and all those things that you would want from a guy. So I will say it does affect both, but I think men have a lot more of a threshold when it comes to numbers. One, because women don't care about a man's sexual past. You know what I mean? Simply because a man has to provide value to even get sexual access.
Well, the reason the threshold is different is because it satisfies a man differently than it does
also,
a
hold
woman.
on, let me finish. So also, it's the fact of experience. Men have to actually learn these things. You know, he has to learn what a woman wants. Women don't. If any time a man don't know, and I've heard women talk about this, the man didn't know how to do something right, didn't know how to anticipate a body or any of those things, they talked about that. You know what I mean? And it wasn't in a good way. So women value experience, men not so much.
I don't know if I agree with that.
You don't agree with what?
That men don't value experience.
Like
Men,
sexual
Sexually?
experience?
Sexual
or just
experience?
like a competent woman.
yeah.
Why do you disagree? Why a man's telling you this?
Do you speak for all men?
Yeah, I'd speak for a vast majority of them. I would say I could confidently speak for, I say about 95% of men. There's a small percentage of men.
How do you know that you speak for 95% of men?
Because about 95% of the men that I've ever come in contact with, they think that way. They know this, and they're not what they don't value experience. No man wants to. All right, perfect example, right? Could you go and talk about how you've all your relations, your sexual encounters with other men to your husband?
I have talked about a lot of my experiences with my husband. Yeah.
I mean, over time, y'all probably have talked. I'm talking about like straight up,
to him like you do your
telling
girlfriends.
him, talk to him how you use your girlfriend.
girl
Like,
talk.
oh man, this one dude I had, he was so big, he was even bigger than yours. We did it all night. He had more stamina than you. You get what I'm saying? Would you say that to your man?
No, obviously I would not.
Okay, because he can't, because that he doesn't want to think about his wife.
But he wasn't
with
under
other
the
men.
impression.
Hold on.
But
that's
under
still
the impression.
that's not
that
the question though.
That the number was 0 or that I was a virgin.
That's not
when
the,
he did
that's not the
learn
question,
my body count, he didn't care.
But here's the thing.
And if I had not told him what the number was, there's no way for him to know, which has been my whole point.
But it's not just the number. The number doesn't matter. It's after a certain amount.
I don't know. I was an adult woman with whole life experiences when we got together.
It's after a certain amount, right? And I don't want to make.
What's the amount? What's the number?
I'd say honestly, 5 you're pushing it. After 7, I think it's probably cooked.
Like
You
relationships.
think a lot of women out there in the world have had
dudes,
like
after a woman has slept with about after 5 shaky 7 after 7, I believe that's cooked. If she goes
what
beyond
about a woman
7,
who's like in her 30s and hasn't been married yet?
Cook.
And she's, what age do people start having sex? Like, 17,
Yeah, so
18?
I actually, with this thing, the whole number thing, I do have, there's a part of me that's like, okay, age absolutely matters. Because if you have a 19-year-old girl that's telling you she slept with 5 dudes versus a 30-year-old woman who's told you she slept with 5 dudes, same
That's
body
kind of
count.
my point.
Yeah, same
Way
body
different.
count, but that girl who's 19, who's already had, 7, 10 guys that she slept with, she's on a trajectory
To be cooked.
That's like she gonna be done before she's in her mid-20s.
Yeah,
She's not gonna give a
not
fuck
even
about any
mid.
dude.
After about 22, she gonna be barbecued.
What about
man.
this? What if that same 19-year-old girl who had that phase in her life, tons of partners, and then hits 30 and turns over a new leaf, gets therapy, finds herself, finds a new way of living, and then at 32 meets somebody and hasn't had partners in years? Does that reset her?
No.
Yeah, hold on. Chat. Let us know what number. What she want to know the range for the guys. For the guys, I want to know after how many dudes do you think it's like? Yeah, I don't know about that.
Yeah, I think 10.
So then that makes a woman completely
It makes
unable
her
to be in a
an unsafe
relationship?
bet. It makes her an unsafe bet for a relationship. I think.
An unsafe bet for a relationship.
Yeah,
So she
so-
doesn't deserve
For
a
the long-term
relationship
commitment.
because she had a past.
No, it's not that. It's taking. So when someone has a certain history, right, and then you look in your vetting to meet this person, and okay, let's see how far it can go, right? It doesn't matter if you've had therapy. It doesn't matter if you've gained a new religion, if you've decided to go over the country and become a monk. What really happens, and psychology shows us this all the time, when you get in a relationship, that is when your reactions, your processing, that is when all of that is actually truly going to come out. It comes out in real time. It doesn't come out like you can't practice driving a parked car. You know what I mean? So if you haven't had a relationship for over 10 years and then you get in one after you've had all
these
of
partners in
this
these
stuff happen,
situations,
but you've never had the opportunity or the platform to actually practice it and put it in practice, you're going to do it in that relationship. And that's when you'll see. That's when you'll feel it. That's when you'll be sitting alone in your room crying, trying to figure out, why do I feel this way against my partner? I can't figure out why. Why is he triggering me? You know what I'm saying? That's
Wouldn't
when
that
it
happen
comes
to a
up.
person But wouldn't that happen to a person with no experience? They don't know how to be in a relationship.
No.
They will
It's
have to
not.
grow and figure it out and
No, because she's learning how
try
to
to
be
figure
with
out
her
why they're
person.
feeling all these things in that relationship for the first time.
It's not
It's
not
not
necessarily
because
the
she's
same.
already been there before,
disagree
so
with
she
you
has
guys, and
she already has a negative experience from that. So most relationships, can we agree, don't end on the best terms? You know what I'm saying? Somebody's usually
Probably,
salty
yeah.
at the end of that, right? All right, so if it could be anything, like, all right, I believe this guy and he lied to me and he cheated on me. Now, any of that baggage, you know what I mean? This guy cheated on me. This guy wouldn't commit to me. This guy wouldn't. This guy just treated me like another girl in the rotation. Like, this guy, I really liked him. He played everything I liked, but he just wasn't gonna. He just was boring and he didn't work out for me. All of those things add to something else that's going to be brought to the next guy, right?
Doesn't that happen with men too?
It does.
It does. But men's experiences are different than women, than how women experience.
Men's experiences usually come when they have relationships. When they have relationships, or they've
Everybody
dealt,
does.
or they've dealt.
No, I
you
wouldn't.
know,
I wouldn't
when
say.
they've dealt with a woman for a long time, and they've had a bad experience with that woman, you'll usually see it then. And they could only have like 2 relationships in
But
their
here's
whole
the
life.
thing: I don't think
But that goes
men
for
know how to
anybody.
offset. Men knows how to
You're going to
offset
come
trauma.
away.
Men don't carry. I'm for the most part not the. Now I can't speak for like because we always get caught up in talking about the lowest tier. I mean, I'm not talking about those type. I'm not talking about the low tier men. And I do acknowledge the fact that they are out there, you know. But I'm not talking about the guys that act like bitches. You know what I mean? I'm talking about the men that are truly stoic, that understand who they are, understand their value, have a vision, and they have a vision for their relationship, for their family, and how they want their legacy to proceed and progress. Those men, damn, I lost my train. I lost what
were you saying about in regards to like coming out of something bad and coming
yeah,
into
coming
a
out of it,
woman?
yeah. We're coming out of so they know how to separate the box. Like, all right, I messed up here. I think men have more accountability than women do. So men will be like, will look at a situation and be like, yo, I was wrong here. I messed up here. All right, I gotta get rid of that. I should be more honest here. You know what I mean? And they're better at assessing those things. They're not gonna be like, oh, bro, this girl went and cheated on me, so now I'm gonna go cheat on every girl, or not all girls cheat. Men don't do that.
I disagree, and I think that that's learned behavior. And to act like men have inherently better coping mechanisms or more maturity is completely wrong.
How?
Well, if we're
How
talking
so?
if we're talking about men as a whole, you're talking about stoic men, right? You're talking about men that actually have the awareness to be able to stop themselves and say, "Oh wait, this is wrong. I'm punishing her for something someone else did." Like, not many people in general can't really do that very well. A certain level of men, and even awareness of a woman, it takes a special individual to do that. But across the board, most people can't do that.
But I say more men are more equipped. The whole world conditions and punishes men for not being stoic, for not being this way. So yes, more men are going to think more like that than women do, because women have no incentive to truly think or take accountability for things. That's like if a girl punches the dude in the face and the dude hits her back. It's like, oh, no matter what, you should never hit a woman no matter what. But it's still going to remove the accountability of the fact if she's going around and assaulting somebody. You get what I'm saying? If women are allowed a lot more grace.
Like,
a lot more grace
in
than men are.
comparison of relationship, men and women.
I'm talking about I'm talking about having to reflect and take accountability.
Wow.
Jessica, what are your thoughts? I see you want to say something.
No, it's going a lot of different places.
That's what I was going to say. I feel like it's moving directions.
It's kind of, there's a lot of, I wish we could just like narrow it down. What I'm hearing is just there's a lot of one-sidedness, as we discussed and came to a conclusion with that both sexes pair bond based on a certain number. I think it is possible for people to learn and grow and evolve from those bad experiences, good experiences, anything like that, and carry on positive experiences to the next relationship, even though they may have had a certain number that is deemed too high. I don't think it changes the person necessarily in a negative way. Not all sexual experiences are bad. Not all breakups are bad. Some are just learning and growing experiences and springboard you to the next.
It's like a
And
driving record.
I think
I'm saying
maybe
it's like a driving record, right? Like you might have gotten this fender bender, like wasn't completely your fault, you know what I mean? But it's still gonna be points on your record. You get what I mean?
But you can
like,
say the same.
yeah.
You can say the same for men, though. I think
Yeah, for sure. But in a different realm, though, this is a double right now. Where was being argued is a double standard. This is just the one of the double standards that don't benefit men, that don't benefit women, that benefits men. You know what I mean? So yeah, I can admit that 100% it's a double standard, but it's just how we think.
The challenge for me is the amount of so obviously we post clips that are going to stimulate conversation and get reactions that are on both sides. And I think that it was just really surprising to me that there was so much nastiness in response to what we posted. It was supposed to start a conversation, but the amount of males in the chats that immediately went on the attack and started saying just really terrible things about females, about us, because we have an opinion. I just think it's really counterproductive when we start getting into name calling and nastiness. Everybody can have life experiences, and that doesn't make a person damaged or any less than the other on the male and female side.
I agree with that. The negativity is not okay, and it's not warranted. But at the same time, I know why. I can guess why men are like that, and a lot of it has to do with men's preferences being demonized so much, men being called perverts for things that they like, being called all type of names and things like that for having their preferences. So to where if a preference of theirs is they feel attacked, that's how they respond. And ultimately, what this discussion is, and what you're saying, what Donna's saying that she doesn't agree with, is a man's preference.
Well, also, I think a lot, it's the internet too. And we know that the internet's not really a real place. And the type of people that get in the comment sections and say the craziest shit, a lot of these men don't even have women in their lives to even have a relationship with. You know what I mean? There's not every man has a woman or even has the ability to be around women and maintain women. So you might be getting a lot of guys that just have really bad luck and they just feel some kind of way. There's a lot of different. Yeah, I mean, if we look at anybody's comment section, shit's crazy.
But my
things that
thing
people
is
say is terrible.
You can't tell a man not to use his experiences to not make choices in the future, just like you can't tell a woman not to use her past experiences to make choices in her future. And that's essentially what that is.
I think kind of the argument that I feel as a woman and what I feel other women saying is that if you've had a certain experience, that means you are useless. And I think
I'm not saying.
Well, hold on. Let me finish. I think that's what is being heard, right? You're cooked. You're done. Blah blah blah. Throw them in the trash. Take them out back and shoot them.
No. That's coming from the fact of their own preferences. Because now when we say cooked, like when I say cooked, I mean the type of guy that you're talking about, that you would be your ideal dream guy. You probably not gonna get that guy if that's your past.
Yeah, but my point is you can have crazy past experience and still be a wonderful person. You can have a great heart. You can be a wonderful mother. You could be a great sister. You can even have the qualities of a potential wife. But if you've had a certain amount of experiences that have taken your ability to enjoy that, unfolding that with the person that you want to be with, and instead of it being like a battleground to, okay, let me make sure I'm safe before, like every step you're watching over your shoulder in your own relationship because you've been through so much, that's not the type of relationship a woman or man want to experience. Like, we don't like being with men that have had bad situations because you're not exempt from your brain. Your brain can't tell the difference between what happened to you and what you're feeling now. So when someone does something that you don't like, immediately your brain goes back to, oh yeah, my ex used to do this. My baby mom used to, my baby daddy did this. My mom used to say this. And then you start talking to that person like it is that other person. That's what happens when you build up so many experiences. It just makes that probability higher. So when
Isn't that
someone's looking,
life experience though? Like,
You
know
can
what I
keep
mean?
calling
Like,
it life experience, but girls who don't sleep with all these dudes don't have that. It's not their experience. Like even you just said early on, you're probably
couldn't
your
you
first
have
few couple
trauma?
of boyfriends.
Couldn't you have trauma and have
Okay,
to
but
like
here's the
work through a lot if you've only had one partner who abused
That
you?
makes you not a good
and
partner. That makes you not a good selection.
if you were abused in an
You
apartment
can have-
in your first relationship,
That makes you not a good. That makes you if you built up this trauma. Once you build that up, that makes you not a good. That makes you not a good choice for him. So why would a man then choose that when they can go choose a woman that hasn't built up that trauma and hasn't done that?
wait, so go back. So if a woman has no partners but had some kind of traumatic experience, the fact that she's like been traumatized even though she has no partners would still make her a bad choice
That's
for
a
men?
very. Show me that one. That's a
Are you
very.
talking-
That's a very.
I
That's
think
a,
we're talking about
So
the
we trying to go to an
software.
anomaly to try to make the rule. No,
Okay,
the
let's
majority
take a
of
woman
women
who's-
have trauma
What-
a
what about
lot
a woman
more
who's only had-
than often. The woman that's coming to you has built up trauma from having multiple partners and multiple men that she's dealt with.
And men don't bring into trauma into their relationships. They
Yes,
don't bring
yeah,
the trauma
we
from
already
their
said they
from
did.
growing up and
We already
from,
said that. You see how
from
you
their
you
families.
see how you bounce it back around to also men can and it becomes like kind of like a blame game. I'm just telling you the thought process. You get what I mean? You trying to bounce it around like it's a blame. Oh, so men can't be everybody has their own problem. We can go back and forth with this all day.
Right.
Like, oh, men could do
I'm
this.
not-
Men
I'm not
have this
saying
problem.
that-
But what I'm saying is the preference isn't going to change. The preference
I don't
isn't
think
going
the
to change. So
preference
if some, so
change.
if the high if you feel like, oh, I shouldn't be judged by my body count for me having a high body count or whatever, then I mean you can think that, but it's going to happen.
I mean,
Then
we
don't
can
have,
use- we
you know
can
what I mean?
use
Don't
something
build
more-
up your body count.
Except you wouldn't
Can
know
I-
unless a woman told you. You wouldn't know what the count was.
If any men with experience, men that understand, that know, they'll be able to tell.
Can I make a
They'll be
point?
able to tell she's not a virgin.
No, you'll be able to tell. You'll be able to tell if she's built up enough trauma. Because then, all right, at that point, then she's not bringing that type of trauma. Then that's the anomaly. Then, and then yes, she can get a relationship. Then, and then we can move forward with that. But but there are certain tells in women, especially when they've had a certain amount of dudes and they've been through so much with so many different men, that it's going to show.
Yeah,
And
it's
men
not,
know how to look
it's
for
not
it.
just because of sex. It's because of the relationship. So if you were with a guy and you stopped sleeping with him, right, or you stopped dating him, it was probably for a reason that was not good. Whether he lied to you, whether it was abusive, whether something usually bad happens for relationships to end. Now, I agree, all relationships do not have to end in flames. Like I've had relationships where you can exit peacefully and there's no burning the building down, but for the most part they most part they end on bad terms, and those bad terms is what shapes your experiences. So I can take it even deeper, and this is how we can prove that trauma is not a good thing. Okay, so
for women, men must go through trauma.
No.
Men must
It's not
suffer.
it's not a good thing in terms
Men
of
must suffer.
in terms of the software that you need to create the environment that you want to have in your home.
Boys,
so if you
boys
grow
don't
up,
skip out on that suffering.
if you grow up and you've been violated in some kind of way against your will, right? You've been violated, man or woman. When you reach adulthood, you take that with you. It completely affects the way that you show intimacy with your partner, with how you enjoy intimacy with your partner. And now, granted, we can take into consideration it's not their fault, but you are going to experience more struggles with that person than you would with somebody who didn't have that as a child. So if that is true for children who didn't have a choice, it absolutely is true for people as an adult who do have a choice, and they actively put themselves in these situations and think, oh, I can just sleep with this many people and walk away scot-free. That's not how humans work. No, none of us do. We cannot go through things and come out on the other side just because we said, oh no, I'm good now. You know what I'm saying?
My argument in that is just the difference in how men take trauma versus how women take trauma. And just hardships. Like men are built.
So-
men need to go through
as someone
that.
who has actually studied trauma in the brain, I think the word trauma has been used as just something people don't like now. It's not really trauma. It's just hard times.
It's hard times.
It's just a difficult conversation. It's just somebody died,
Toughen it out.
and you got to go through the process of life. Trauma is when something happens against your will that you have absolutely no control over, and it completely shapes, and warps your reality. And you can't. No matter, like, if you see somebody die and get snapped in half, your brain can't make sense of that. So the trauma comes because it plays over and over again, and it never goes away because it's never going to make sense. So that's when the nightmares come. That's when it pops up over and over again for 10 years. But having an argument with your sister or your dad or something is not trauma. You know what I'm saying? So
I do. I agree. Yeah. I have a couple questions. I'm super curious. Are you? What's your background? Because you seem to be super. You said you study trauma.
She went to behavioral.
Oh yeah, so I'm technically a cognitive behavioral science. I studied neuroscience, which is how can I say this? The hormones in our brain that influence our feelings, that influence our behavior. So I understand at a cellular level what happens within people, and it happens before we can blink our eyes. How quick we are to make decisions, why we make the decisions that we make. Sometimes it's not black and white. That's why these conversations are kind of sticky to me, because it's like, it's not just one or the other. Like there is no gender that is exempt from experience.
But I speak in generalities. I speak by the majority.
Wait, I'm not done asking questions.
No, I'm just saying I speak to the majority. Go ahead, ask your question.
In your field of study, then, this might not be something that you know, but how common is it to find a partner with no trauma?
Trauma, well, again, like I said, trauma is for what we've seen for it to be, it's when something drastic happens that you don't have any control over in your life, and it completely shapes your reality, and you can't make sense of it. Man. So, like the example I used earlier, a child being, essayed against their will. That's something you can't control. You don't understand what's happening. And sometimes it takes years for you to realize, like, oh my God, this was wrong. This doesn't feel right. And then you act out, your body takes over, and you process the world around you differently than you would if it didn't happen to you. Not everybody has trauma to the degree of where they can't function.
All right, you're right. I think we are using the word trauma. We'll say baggage. Whichever.
Everybody comes with baggage.
Everybody comes with baggage.
100%.
Right?
For sure.
So, but here's the thing. But the baggage that comes with a woman having so many partners, men don't want that. That's just kind of like that.
I agree that you guys don't want that. My argument is, unless she tells you, you wouldn't know what it was.
I mean, technically, you wouldn't.
We wouldn't know the exact
You wouldn't
number.
technically know.
You're right, but
that's
we would know.
That's kind of my point.
But here's the thing:
the fact that we can sit here and talk about all of our baggage and what our trauma is, and if I chose to share with you what all my past trauma was, then we can unpack it, and you can decide, oh, she's not the partner for me. But if I didn't tell you that, if I did not give you the exact number, then you wouldn't know, and then you would only be able to go off of our behaviors.
I think what he's saying is the fact that you can tell if it's a high number or not.
Yeah,
you might not know the exact number, but you could tell.
But to him, a high number was 5, and then to somebody else in the comments, it was 10, and then somebody else, it was a different number. So what's a high number?
Well, that's where the preference comes in.
Sure.
Right. That's
sure.
And will you ever know? I mean, if
I said 5 to 7.
And if your preference is 5 to 7,
people have preferences, and I'm not denying that people should make their own choices and have all of the free will that comes with all of that.
But I was speaking in generality.
So if we had a guy, because this is a good example of what you're saying, and I think this is what he's trying to say. If we had a man that came to us, right, and he said, like, I've had about 12 girlfriends, and I spoiled them all. I gave them the perfect lifestyle, right? And he never had any of them. At some point, you'll be able to tell that he's lying. You'll be able to tell by the way he interacts with you, the way he acts with other women, blah, 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 that he's never actually treated a woman. He's never taken care of a woman. He's never given a woman experiences. He's just saying this in hopes that you'll just believe him and just go with it,
I had a ball.
Which guys will do. I've had guys do that. So I think that's what he's saying in terms of like at some point you're going to be able to tell by their behaviors in very small interactions that something's off.
Yeah, and then men don't just tell. Men aren't gonna just tell you this. Like, oh damn, I think she might have taken too many sausages. You know what I'm saying? They just gonna disqualify you. Like, yeah, bro, I'm gonna pull back a little bit, see what all I can get, and see if it's some more. And then it becomes like that's where you get the he was putting up so much effort in the beginning, and then he kind of fell back. Well, he saw some things that he didn't like, and then he kind of like started to fade back, and he started to fall
Isn't that
off.
how relationships
You know
go
what I
though?
mean?
You start to see like flags in people, red flags in
Nah.
people, or little things that you don't like, and like behaviors that are part of something that you don't want to have in your life. And so then
But
you're like,
those are the
okay,
things
this
you
person's
talk
not for
about.
me.
You
Maybe
talk
when
about
you're
like,
vetting.
maybe when you're vetting and you talk about then. But I'm talking about things that men are like, nah, he's not going to tell you. Women will straight up tell you, hey, you did this, and all. Men will be like, all right, because they're not gonna want to argue with you, and they're not gonna want to. Women are very good at drawing sympathy from men, right? So they're not gonna tell you this. They just gonna keep it in their mind, and then it's gonna keep compounding it with different things, and then it's gonna be like, yeah, nah.
So I do want to say this because, and I'm not trying to single out people, even people that might be in the comments or anything, but us as women, we know innately at some point we know that body count has a heavy way to some degree. There's a reason why we don't want to say it, why we'll say, oh, it doesn't matter. But there's other things like jealousy, a man being jealous in comparison, that might be one subcategory of a reason. But the other reasons are, what does that sexual history indicate? Like, is she just make impulsive decisions? Is health wise for carrying my child? You know, has there been STDs over time where she's had to get surgeries and certain parts of her body taken out on the inside? I mean, you can't tell on the outside because she looks great. There's so many other things that will go through someone's mind when they want to decide, do I want to spend the rest of my life with this person? And we know as women, when we're sitting in front of that man, that's when that number probably will matter. Now, all the other guys, maybe not.
That's all I'm saying.
Maybe not.
Hey.
But that one guy where it's like, okay, I actually care how he feels. I care what he wants. I want to be able to give him what he wants. That one guy,
It's
it might
gonna
matter.
100%, and that's all I'm saying. Like women get conflated with like, there's I got all these guys telling me. That's just like the guy on Jez's post, like, oh, you the queen, you beautiful, and all this and that. You go look at the dude's profile. Would you get with this dude? No. You get what I mean? So we're not talking about the guys that you don't want. We're talking about the guys that you do want. The guys that have worked on themselves, the guys that have built themselves up to a certain thing, the guys that command respect from the world and the world around them, right? And they have to protect that respect because as goes the respect for the woman, goes the respect for the man is the respect for the woman. How you respect your husband or your man is how the world is going to respect him. If you're not showing him any respect or any regard, he can't come amongst men and speak for real.
Yeah, that's how powerful.
You know what I mean?
women
For
are.
real, he can't.
That's how powerful we
He
are.
can't come amongst men and speak.
Shouldn't the only behavior be what happens within the confines of the relationship? Like, you can have a past and then you get into a relationship, and how you behave within that relationship is what matters.
Yeah. I mean, it does matter, but you still got to take into account, like I said, at some point, some things will come out and you have to work through those. And then you have to be able to give your partner the ability. They can choose. They can choose if they want to deal with that or not. Just like you can choose if you want to deal with whatever they've been through or not. It's not saying that you can't be a good partner. It's just saying the probability of it being more difficult
And I'll be the
is a
good
lot
partner
higher.
for that guy, for the guy that you want. It might be for.
That's fair.
I mean, the guy little lower down on the totem pole, and those are the guys that are okay with stuff like that. You know what I mean? They understand real talk because they know where they stand. They know where they stand.
They're okay with it, but they'll punish you.
Oh no,
for
they'll
it
be
at
okay
some
with
point.
it. Yeah. I mean,
they punish you for
I
it.
don't
They
know.
try-
I think
they-
it's different for everyone, honestly. When I say that I don't think body count equals, or I don't think body count matters, what I am referring to is I don't think it means that you're a bad person. I don't think it means you're damaged. I don't think you can't heal from it and grow from it. I just think that there's so much weight on something that that doesn't give the full picture of the person, and
I
it
agree.
doesn't any less worthy of having a relationship. And it doesn't mean that they can't find a person that is good for them or meant for them, or that they have to take a step down. Eventually people will find the people that choose them, and it doesn't have anything to do with body count.
All right, so as far as value as a person, absolutely not.
Yeah,
What
I said
you
that a
do
minute ago.
is it's how you treat people in the world, right? That so is your value as a person does not go down, but your value as a partner does go down. So the type of relationship, how you qualify for a relationship, which relationship you qualify for, yeah, that does take a hit.
I just think it's weird. I do think this is strange in this day and age, how sex is the only physical act that we can kind of dismiss in terms of our behavior. But if somebody used to be a hothead and used to fucking fight people all the time, or somebody is like has sticky fingers and they are always stealing something, or like if you're doing
them
other
away from me too.
if you're doing other
What
things,
are we talking about?
no, what I'm saying is if you're doing other things with
them
your
outta
body,
here.
right?
Come out of here.
Other things with your body, and people pay attention to that, they take that into consideration.
Mm-hmm.
Why is it the one act that we have to be the closest to a human being ever is not to be taken into consideration? You know what I'm saying? Like sex is not a. Some people will say sex is sex, but it is not a completely. It means something. It is. There's a reason that it has weight to it.
It's the reason why you're not out. Y'all out. It's the reason why y'all ain't out giving your sex to everybody. All right. Why ain't you just giving your sex to the guys in the comments? They might change them and start being nice to you. Why don't you just? It's just sex. Why don't you just give to them? Body count don't matter.
No, I actually think sex is very sacred, and I think that people do give it a little bit too freely without consideration, and some of it has to do with age and life experiences and just not taken into consideration. But I think sex is a really special thing, and there is obviously science behind it, and that makes it even more important. But again, my argument is that it doesn't deem you a bad person and doesn't deem you damaged.
Well, Jess,
because maybe we made different choices.
I will tell you this. You think a little bit differently than some of these girls do these days. There are girls, I'm like, it is truly taking a veil off my eyes and has made me cry at times. There are girls that truly believe sex is not sacred, but when they meet the right person, all of a sudden it does become sacred. I've heard these arguments. I've heard the conversations. And these are the reasons why, like, these conversations kind of started. Because if you want to fly down to Miami and talk to any girl, she's probably going to tell you this. She's going to tell you how she doesn't care. She's just racking them up, right? And then one day she's going to meet her Prince Charming, and then all of a sudden her body's going to matter.
And everything, I'm going to be a wife, and I'm just going to snap into being the perfect woman that matches with this perfect man.
Which is crazy, because if a guy did
absolutely wild work.
If a guy never worked on himself, truthfully, never worked on himself, one day I'm just going to become a millionaire. I'm just going to run into it, while I'm doing all this other bullshit. When I meet the right person,
you laugh at him, and rightfully so.
Can't you be a different person in different seasons of your life, though?
You can be, but that doesn't. You didn't die and come back. You're the same person.
No,
it's the same experience. So
trees grow, but sometimes they still got that same.
You're still taking the resume
that same
with you.
slash still on the bark.
This is why I mean you're not exempt from your brain. It doesn't matter how much you do. You can't undo what is done to you. You can't undo it.
No, but you can grow into a different version of yourself.
You can grow.
But see, here's the thing.
But
men, a lot of dudes don't want that version because that version is a bad business.
Yeah, but you shouldn't.
That next version has been shown to be a bad partner and a bad decision for a lot of men.
Maybe in a certain age range, I think it matters more. No, seriously.
No, go ahead. No, my bad. Finish what you're saying.
If we're talking about a specific age range, I think there are people where it does matter more. But the more you go through, for males specifically, the more you go through divorce and more relationships, I think that you can find somebody who is kind of at your level with experience and be okay with it. Now, a little bit younger, I think it does hold more water and more validation. But I think as we get older, our opinions change with our experiences and become a little bit more flexible with those things.
They do. You have to, or other than that, you become delusional. If we don't actually change and realize, okay, we're getting older, this is changing, we got to be more open to this. Maybe 10 years ago, I wouldn't accept a guy that had kids. Okay, I'm older now. I got to be more realistic. Guys that have kids is probably going to be, you know what I'm saying?
Yeah,
is
no,
that
the
what
only
you're
problem,
saying?
the problem with that is when you're younger, you don't have all that trauma. You build it up as you get older. As you get older, as you experience more, as that age,
Remember,
and
it's
that
baggage.
gets up there,
Luggage,
right?
carry-ons.
So yes, so I would say what you say would be the opposite. I would say the older women would be the bad bet, and then the younger woman would be the better bet because they haven't been through as much baggage.
No, that's not what she's saying. I don't think that's what she was saying.
She just said in different seasons, it depends. It's an age specific.
Yeah, like if you're younger and your
So
body count is high, it matters a lot more. I think is what she's saying than when you
I
get
think
older.
it matters,
When you
period.
get older, yeah, but when you get older, you got to understand there's so much time. A woman who's 30 who slept with 10 men has had this much of a gap versus a girl who's again 20 who's had 10 men. She's just legally became illegal to start sleeping with men.
Yeah, we don't
So
date
she's
them either.
sleeping-
We judge by the body count.
But
the
that's
body
what I'm
count
saying.
is what keeps you in the. You get what I'm saying?
Right.
So there's not really a difference. I'm saying from a man's perspective, there's not a difference.
difference in
After-
like,
after
fear,
she's
like
passed
whether
a
she's
certain
in a
amount of body
relationship
count-
or
about
not.
their body
After-
count.
yes,
and
after
I
she's
bet you
passed a
none-
certain
none of
amount
you
of
guys will be
body,
able to tell.
after she's passed a certain amount of bodies, right? It doesn't matter what age she is. Those 10 bodies, even if you hit those at 20 and you don't do nothing else until you're 40, you stay with the same dude, you still got 10 bodies.
Yeah, but
You get
that's
what
a
I'm
lot-
saying? And it's still
a
the
different-
same.
If those were relationships versus
I mean, you went through 10
flames.
relationships. It doesn't matter.
Yeah, but it could be that you don't sleep around.
That's even harder. You know how hard it is to break up with somebody from an emotional standpoint, from everything?
It's
you know how hard
not-
it is? You've done it 10 times.
Yeah, it's not.
That's
hard
more Infinity Stones than Thanos collected.
This
Come on,
will go back to my point of saying how cold women can be. Is it hard to break up with somebody when you decide to break up with them? Because I don't think it is.
Jess?
For me, yeah, it is a little bit. As I've gotten older and I have more discernment. I know what I want. It gets a little bit easier, but when I was younger, it was very hard.
Exactly. And that's what men want. We want it to be hard. We want you to be torn up whenever you try to leave. We want all of that. We can't get that after a certain amount of, and it makes us feel it's a little shaky then. It's a little bit more of a shaky bet. And not only that, y'all speaking from a sense of, from the majority, most men have more to lose in divorce than women. If the relationship goes bad, the man has more to lose than the woman does.
Oh, you're talking about marriage?
Marriage, and even if the relationship's been for a certain amount of time, because in certain states they got the common law marriage, and then bang, he still gets hit the same. So men definitely have more of a stake.
Are you suggesting that the woman didn't help equally build whatever they have?
I mean, that depends
in
on
what
that honestly
regard?
depends
Hell
on the,
no.
Well,
you
that depends
want
on,
with me sprawling in the gym?
No, that depends on, well, like with my
I
parents.
think that depends on the relationship.
It depends on the relationship, because my parents started a business together and they built it to be a very, very, very like established company, right? My mom walked away from it and didn't take anything. She had every right to, because she absolutely, my dad absolutely built that business
in
together.
that regard, she did. But if you're just just in a relationship with this guy and he's already a winner before you got there, no, I'm just gonna say that. No, I don't think you should.
That is going on the assumption that the man is the only one bringing anything financially to the table.
Well,
most of the time, no, not most of the time. But most of the time, it doesn't matter if she's not the only one. The man usually brings more. Women. You're not looking for a dude that's broker than you, right? And most women aren't. Most women are not looking for a man that has less money than them. So the man usually out earns the woman. Women seek this out. It's in their nature.
I don't
to
think
seek
that,
this out, which is why guys floss money and flex and act like they have more than what they really do have, right? So
women are more educated in bringing in equal finances at this point in history more than ever.
That's not
yes,
true.
It is.
Women dominate college enrollment, but they're not dominating in income. Men still
Usually
make more
because
money.
when people have
Men-
babies,
men still make more
partner
money.
that steps away is the woman.
And regardless of why it is,
Yeah, but
men still make more
this,
money.
What is
And-
this leading to? I'm not understanding. What's this
I don't.
conversation
You guys started
leading
talking
to?
about marriage.
We were
and he
talking
said
about
that when-
the
he said that
incentive.
when
Right now, we're
there's a
talking about the
divorce-
incentive to stay within the relationship. Men are punished
No,
more
you said marriage.
for the end of relationships than men. Marriage is a relationship.
I get that, like, your perspective is always from the man side. My perspective is always going to be from the women's side, and we're not going to agree on that. It's clearly, but that's where like all of this is going.
What?
That your perspective is only going to be from the man side.
I'm
that
giving a
he-
man's perspective. It's not. I'm
You
giving a
don't
man.
speak for all men. I
I'm
know you
giving
think
the
you do,
man's
but you don't.
perspective. I don't have to speak for all men. I speak for a majority
I
of
mean,
men,
technically,
and a
we
lot.
can
And
say
most
that
of us.
about all
I'm gonna
of
be
us.
honest. I'm gonna be honest. Yeah. And technically, we can say that about all. So you don't speak for all, just like you don't.
I
Speak
never
for all
said that I
women.
do. I specifically say that I don't speak for all women.
But here's what I'm saying. I'm giving a man's perspective. What perspective would you expect me to give you? And
No,
I
for
will
sure.
tell you,
But
the
I'm
majority
saying
of
that that's why
men
we're
that whenever
disagreeing.
we talk, whenever y'all aren't in the room, this is how they think. The difference is that, see, and this is where, like, it's been a thing my entire life. Most men are gonna lie to you. They don't want women to actually know the truth about our true nature, how we think, how we select body counts, or any of that. Because you want to know why? Men like women with high body counts. To be honest with you, for fun. For fun, shit, she's already slept with 20 dudes. What's adding me to the body count? What's adding me to it? But if men say this, how likely are you to get with those women? So they don't say it. I'm one of the rare dudes that don't care and will actually say it and tell you. So you can take it like, oh, men don't think that way. And that's exactly what's keeping men, that's exactly what's keeping the city boys in business. We up another 10,000.
City
that mean?
boy. What you mean
Who are
we?
the city boys?
What does that mean?
The chat know what it means.
Oh, I don't know what that means.
Chat knows what it means.
I don't think we're going to agree on this.
I don't even know what the disagreement is.
I don't
'Cause
even
we
know
were
what it
talking
is.
about breaking up, and now we're talking about income.
We were talking
Yeah,
about
it
the
went a lot
breakup
different.
became the incentive, and that's why most men don't, because that's the main resource that men can bring
But I
to
thought
the
we
table,
were
and that's what
speaking-
women mostly seek after. And yes,
I
and
thought
I'm
we were talking about
because
pair
why
bonding.
I'm talking about why women are more incentivized to stay in a relationship than a man.
But when did we
So
get on
if
this
she
subject?
becomes because high body count then dictates the fact of, oh, this relationship might not last. And if the end of relationship is going to be more costly to me as a man than it is a woman, that's why I'm invested in your body count. That makes sense? I feel like that should have brought it full circle to everything that I just talked about. We'll move on.
I appreciate you having us on the podcast.
The whole reason we post and we put kind of topics that can cause reaction is to start a conversation and actually hear other people's perspectives. I'm not saying that our perspective, my perspective is right. I'm not saying anybody else's perspective is wrong, but it is interesting to get the conversation started and see where it goes and hear different perspectives, whether or not we agree or agree to disagree.
I think the reason that these relationships, the reason that these conversations tend to irk me is because when a man does say something that we don't agree with, or that we are like, oh God, there's like, like you're saying, you don't speak for all men. It's like we lose this sense of autonomy for ourselves. Like we don't have the ability to just have self-value, even when a man is saying something that may seem like he's not valuing you. You know what I mean? And he doesn't dictate what that is for us. So I don't understand why when these conversations are had, people get triggered, they get irritated, they feel like they should combat. You know what I mean? Like,
Well,
Jamal doesn't have, but Jamal has no, he has no jurisdiction over any woman on this podcast, her value. He's just telling you what he thinks. He's telling you what men say. He's telling you the conversations that are had. You know what I mean? So when I hear men tell me stuff that aren't my men, or aren't like my dad, brother, or my man, when I hear men say this, I just listen. You know what I mean? I don't feel the need to go back and forth like, oh, well, why do you think that? What does this mean? Or that doesn't mean I'm valid. I know what I have to offer. I know I can say no. I know I don't have to deal with certain things. You know what I mean? But that's not the conversation we're having. The conversation we're having is what they're bringing to the table. So that's why the conversations just irk me, because I'm like, it seems like people have a hard time listening, even when they disagree.
I think
No,
that's what
that's
we've
when
done.
they
I mean, we
disagree.
came on to have a discourse, and I think that at least I've stated my case, and I've heard everything that Jamal says, and I agree that's what he thinks. I don't agree with it, and I'm not triggered or hurt or anything. I've heard what he said.
But I'm just my only question would that be like, what do you mean by you don't agree with it?
Like you don't agree, like you
that
don't believe
men
it's
thinks
true?
that way? Like you don't believe it's true? Like you don't believe men think this way? Or like I don't understand what you mean.
I think
by you
some
don't agree
men
with it. Or do
probably
you
think this way. I
it's
think
wrong?
you think this way. I think there's probably a lot of men out there that think this way, but I don't think all men think that way. And I don't
didn't say
think
all.
that you said you speak for like 95% of men.
I said majority. Majority. The hard wiring is the same. See, here's the thing, right? Like, there's a reason why certain men are able to get like multiple women, right? Like there's guys that's so you would have to understand women. You would have to understand their nature, right? And people's experiences and their upbringing can change them, but for the most part, for everybody, the hard wiring is the same. Like even like Jess, whenever I talk to you on the phone, like we naming off the characteristics. All right, would you be attracted to, would you like these things within your partner? Right? You didn't have to tell me those things. I already knew those things because it's a very universal thing whenever it comes to what women want in a man. So how is it that a man can know this about women, but he can't know how the majority of men think in the hard wiring?
I think it's different, though. I think, again, at different phases and stages of life, people want and look for different things. And you have enough life experience and you've had enough relationships to where you have now a grasp on what a majority want.
I think
But
just
no,
being
I
the
was-
gender
my-
is enough. Like
Yeah.
for instance, we're all probably different ages, we grew up in different places. As women, we've had different experiences, but for the most part, as a woman, I would feel confident that without you, either of you having a conversation with me, you could probably tell somebody like what we like for the most part. Like you can say from a woman's perspective, right? This is what we go through. This is what matters to us. This is what we like. I think that's kind of what he's saying on his end with men.
But my thing is though, nothing that y'all have said as a woman, like as a woman, we feel this, we go through. I'll be like, I don't agree with that. You get what I'm saying? So, and then it still goes back to like, what don't you agree with? Like, there's no like you agree that I never said all men think this way. I said there's a good vast majority that do think this way. So I'm just trying to like really understand what the disagreement is. Because especially if you know men think this way, because you've already said it.
Was that
When
a
did-
question?
What's the
That
question?
was a question. I'm still
was that a
confused on.
question?
Like I said, I'm still confused on what she disagrees with because I didn't say all men think this way. You know what I mean?
Well, are we going
And
back to
you
the whole premise
said that-
of why we're on the show, or what specific question are you asking me?
What you disagree with.
You said you disagree. I was
why do
asking
you
what you
disagree with
disagree.
what you disagree with?
Like, what do you like? What do you like with me? What are you disagreeing with? 'Cause I feel like we all
I
are on the same
disagree
page.
that the body count matters. That's the entire premise.
To men.
I agree that experience and different traumas and behaviors all matter, but the exact number, this is literally the whole point of the clip, the actual number does not.
Yeah.
I never
so
said that I never said that
This
the
is-
actual number mattered.
this is
I said after a
semantics.
certain point.
That's semantics.
That's semantics.
It's
Yes,
where
we
where
never go.
it's
get
the
into
actual
arguing
number.
semantics.
She's arguing the actual number, which obviously, like, there's no universal number, right? That's like boom, unless it's like 100, right? We can for sure
Sure.
say like 80 to 100 is probably like Nah, get out of here. But no, I'm just saying,
scientifically-
like, just across the board, right? Just across the board, just give a number. No, there's not going to be a number because everybody's different. Like you said in the chats, the guys have their different preferences of what they think. But the reason, the whole point of after a certain amount, that's where the science comes in. That's where the things I was talking about comes in. That's where the things he was talking about come in. So at some point, the body count does matter. That's
what
the point.
Is there a scientific number?
No, there's not. There's not a scientific number. You know that. We just said that. There's not a scientific number, right?
But
because we just said
so
that.
Then can
they actually
you
have
still be
had a
whole
threshold
and-
of a number, and that was the number that I said. It's about 5 to 7.
That's your threshold.
No, that's literally the science. Go look it up. Those studies been published.
For people to pair bond. For people
to pair
male
bond.
More
and
than
female,
5 to 7.
For more than 5
male
to
and
7.
female, for male and female to pair bond, you start having a harder time around that number. Now, when you get to the number, what we're talking about, where you can't have relationships anymore, where you start having a hard time building a long lasting relationship. There's
12.
that it can stretch a little bit, but the behaviors are not going to go away. They're not. Just like the behaviors wouldn't go away with somebody who's a drug addict, with somebody who's attracted to children. There are things that you're going to see. It's going to stick out no matter what you do. You know what I'm saying? That's the same thing. And this is back to my argument. I don't understand why sex is something that can be dismissed. Like, it cannot be dismissed. It is an act that we take a lot of time to do. We give someone the most access to our body, the most dangerous access to our body, actually, and it's to the most important part of our body, which is our reproductive system. We're giving men access to our reproductive system to bring life into this world, for us to enjoy one of the most precious moments of being a mother. We're giving men access to that. We can't just erase that. We can't just say that doesn't matter. At some point.
That's if you're having sex to have a baby, right?
No, it's period.
That's period.
It's a temple. It's a castle.
We're never gonna end. Whenever it's just arguing semantics. That's your
I
argument.
Agree
your argument
I
is
agree that
semantics.
sex is sacred. I've been with my husband for 16 years. I've been monogamous with my husband for 16 years. But
so it matters.
I did not come into the relationship with him as a saint by any means.
We could believe that. We probably figured it. We probably figured that because that's kind of why you argue. Most people, whenever they argue this hard on a point, probably because, like, to some degree, they probably fit in that category. So I'll say
sure. I wasn't saying that I was.
No, I didn't say.
It's no different than a woman that's been in an abusive relationship where a guy has struck her, right? And I mean truly, where she's not an aggressor or anything. Like, when a guy has struck you and you have experienced the feeling of not having any control, of being portrayed by somebody that you love, that behavior in that woman is going to show later in her relationship, in a future relationship.
If a dude beat up his last 3 girlfriends, are you gonna recommend him to date one of your friends?
No, of course not.
But it's his past.
Well,
it's in the past.
Okay,
he could have worked on himself. He could have became a better person. He could have became a better person. He could have went to therapy. Served his time and all of that. You still wouldn't recommend him to your friend?
No.
I'll give you a good one.
So past matters.
So my father used to
I never said that past didn't matter.
My father used to counsel men in prison.
Just your sexual past doesn't matter.
And these are men who have killed women, children, who have done heinous things that, like, you can't understand why somebody would do, right? Some of them changed their lives, some of them got out, and they turned their life over to God. But I don't know if I know for a fact my dad wouldn't be like, "Hey, I want you to meet my daughter." You know what I'm saying? So I don't know why everyone else's behaviors are looked at under a microscope and considered, but for some reason, when it comes to sex, it's like,
because only a hit dog gonna holler. I'm just saying, only a hit dog gonna holler. That's more so what this is. Nobody, and then the thing is, nobody says more. You brought me on
to talk about this exact. If you want to talk about any of the other things that I talk about ad nauseum, I talk about jujitsu ad nauseum on my page. I've talked about women's empowerment, and I've talked about. You brought me on to talk about this specific post, this 30-second post that I made. So I'm talking about it.
That's what we're talking about. It's conversation,
right?
So what? I don't understand what the correlation is saying that was.
It was a
I'm
great
not-
conversation, folks.
Yeah. I felt like,
That's why
we've been
we're
having a
going
good
on
discussion.
so long about this specific conversation. Not that, you know what I mean? I've never said your past doesn't matter. And I think that
You are
sex
saying your
isn't
past
always
doesn't matter
negative.
because your body count is your past.
But sex isn't always negative, and you don't always take away something
I didn't
negative
say
from
it
partners
was.
that you've had in the past.
But here's the thing. I didn't say it was. So just like you can dictate somebody's behavior and to think that they're not a good partner based off their violent history, you can do the same thing with their sexual history.
Sex and violence
what
aren't
I'm
the same
saying.
thing.
Ooh, actually,
They're not?
There are studies.
Oh.
Sorry, I'm just being a nerd, but
the
there
part
are
of the
studies.
brain that lights
there
up.
are studies in psychology that show how similar actually our sexual acts are to our aggressive behavior. Like very to the point where when people aren't allowed to express any type of anger in their life, they will use it through sex. Sex is their absolutely only outlet of aggression. And it's usually measured. And you see this in cases where like someone's a serial killer and they've done something to the person that they...
Most of them, a lot of them
that they
been beat
offed
by their
after.
dad and things like that, come from a violent or abusive
Wait,
background.
I didn't hear Mike cut off. I didn't hear what you said.
You know?
Yeah,
So,
I was just saying there's actually a very close correlation to our sexual behavior and our aggression, our violence side as humans.
And it also
Very
speaks to
close.
decision. Both are emotional decisions. So they're very, very close.
Sex and violence?
Yeah.
Yes.
I think you would like it actually. If you like looked into it a little and read about it, I think you would be like
Okay.
mind blown. I think you would like
If
it.
you tell me what to, I'll look it up. I'll
Just
read
look
it.
up
I'm
that.
super
Just
interested.
read about the psychology and the relation between sex and violence. And just see, there's some things. that
Think
can
about
pop
any
up.
of the war movies.
It's-
Spartacus, he get to chop his head off. The violent, they got blood all over him. It's
Is
like
that more so for
come here,
men than
girl.
women?
No,
both.
it's both.
Women like the dangerous
We're very
guys.
we are very.
like it. Why you
Listen,
think dudes be like,
no,
I
we
knocked
know
this
that
dude out, girl. Look at this video.
women are
You know
very.
what I'm saying?
We are
Not
actually.
saying I did that.
We're very attracted to that. We're very attracted. There's a heightened sense of arousal actually when we witness a man do violence against someone else that we're attracted to. Like our level of attraction goes higher. There are studies for that. We're kind of sick. You know, women are we're kind of.
Why you think
Isn't
women
everybody?
showed up for Ted Bundy? Showed up
We're
outside.
kind of into
Ted Bundy
this.
got married while
Hey,
on trial
that-
for being
on
a
the
serial
same,
killer.
On the same episode that we talked about, is literally the next conversation that we had, like probably a minute later in this podcast episode, we talk about. Do you guys know who Chris Watt is?
No.
The wide
He
receiver.
killed his pregnant wife and his 2 daughters and stuffed them in like an oil vat or an oil tank, and he's getting married. Some woman is marrying him in prison.
Somebody found
It's
that
always
attractive.
happened. Jeffrey, like Ted Bundy, like a lot of different serial killers like that were.
Remember
were
the
getting-
flux.
Yeah.
Remember
They
the
were getting,
flux
they were getting
of
letters.
all
They
the
were had
women
a lot of women that adored
that
them.
lined up to see 50 Shades of Grey. It was just a guy
Yeah.
wanting to dominate the heck out of this woman all the time.
Do you know? Here's a
And
funny
you could
story.
just look how
Just
they
inflict
smiled when you
pain.
said
How
that.
much
Yeah,
pain
bro.
can I
Look how
inflict
they
on her?
smiled when you even said
You
the
know,
movie.
look, I don't mean no harm, ladies. I just try to speak the truth. I try to speak the truth,
Here's
and then I
a
get all.
funny
I get that.
butterfly effect,
Yeah.
right? So 50 Shades of Grey was like born out of fan fiction from Twilight.
Mm-hmm. Yep.
And Twilight was written by a woman who's Mormon, which is a very restrictive religion.
She was Mormon?
And he split the bed in half the first night they did it,
Because
bruh.
our-
What are we talking
because
about?
we-
He split the
So-
bed, broke the
Listen.
wood, put
So
bruises
I-
on the show.
look, here's
She
the
was
thing.
all
I
bruised
grew
up
up
and
Mormon.
shit. You know what I'm saying? Come on, man.
I grew up Mormon,
Proven
and
point.
my
Oh,
brother, when he
man.
was in college, he was like, "You should read this book." So I was reading it, and like halfway through, I was like, I called him and I was like, "Is this chick Mormon?" And he was like, "Yeah, how can you tell?" And I was like, "It's in the pages. You could totally read. You can feel it."
So you grew up soaking?
Never. No, I did not grow up
I was
culturally
about,
Mormon.
I was okay. I was about to say that those.
I'm half Mexican, and so we were a little bit of outcasts.
Oh, so she got an opportunity to live more of a normal life.
All right, man. We
Yes.
we didn't
I grew up
actually
in Los
ran through the
Angeles.
whole
I grew
show.
up in LA, so I
on
did not
just that
grow
one.
up culturally, but I'm very aware of, like, obviously, I grew up within the religion.
All right,
I did not
What
know
do you
that
What do
we're
you think,
Mormon.
Quan? You think we got time for one more? Or we
Somebody
gotta
asked
wrap
what
it?
Quan thought.
Yeah, don't be a hoe.
Hmm?
Huh?
That's
Don't be a hoe.
Don't be a hoe.
Fire.
Oh, no.
But yeah, we appreciate y'all coming on. It's a good conversation. I believe both sides had some.
I wasn't planning
some
on being on
thoughts,
the show.
things like that.
He said,
Yeah,
you
you didn't
were
give
gonna
her
be on
any warning
said
to
I
like
was?
prepare.
Yeah.
She just jumped on and like heard
No,
me say
we
something, and
were
then she was like, "What
on
happened?"
earlier.
He said you were coming to the
remember-
studio. I'm like, is
The
she going to get on the show? He said,
Yeah.
yeah.
I remember talking about
She
it
said she
last
was
week.
getting on the show. We was just on. We was FaceTime for like 2 hours before the show.
Yeah, but
talking
I thought it was
talking
just
about all
going
this
to be
stuff.
Jess. I went and I grabbed
Nah.
cookies, and that's why I was late. And then I came in, and they're like, "You can sit down." I was like,
Their donation.
I don't have
cookies.
makeup on again.
Donation.
Their donation cookies for the
Girl, you do not need makeup.
Yeah, you definitely don't need makeup.
people.
Thank you.
What about me? Do I need makeup?
You need makeup.
No, you're gorgeous.
Pa, I knew it. I knew it. Cooked.
Silky chocolate.
Silky.
Yeah, I'm gonna let my man Quan close it out for us.
Yeah, thanks for getting on. And thanks for everyone in the comments. We will talk about sports next time. More. What you
I
think.
told
We
her
gotta
this
start
the
getting
UFC
through more
talk.
reels too.
But we do appreciate you getting on. We'll definitely have you on again. Anytime you're in Vegas, come to the studio. We'll have you in the studio.
Yeah, I appreciate the dialogue. I appreciate the conversation. Yeah, it was good. It was good. I feel like
I'm sure I'll say more things that'll ruffle some feathers.
you ain't ruffle my
That's fine.
feathers. I just like to have conversations about things.
No,
I
it's
really
good.
don't
I'm
take.
actually glad
I don't
y'all.
take none of this personal.
I'm glad
at
you
all.
ladies are intelligent enough and competent
Yeah.
enough to even have.
Christina
these
said you need a lot of
conversations.
makeup, Jamal.
The one that showed up here with a lot
my
of makeup?
cousin.
Oh, okay. Right. Wow.
Shout out to all the commenters. We didn't get to all the comments,
Hey,
but
yo,
we
top
appreciate
tier,
you
bro.
guys being in
Low
the
tier,
comments.
you're top tier, bro. He been here since the beginning, commenting, interacting the whole time. Yeah, bro. Appreciate that, bro. Appreciate that
Yeah.
for sure. Glad y'all like the podcast. We
And
gonna keep
listen,
having
subscribe to the
discussions.
channel. It's a new channel. We're still in the preseason, so this isn't even officially a podcast yet. We start our launch season 1 in September. We're going to be talking about a lot of football. And
You already know what it is. You already know what it is.
no, we're going to talk about real professional football.
Man, y'all trash, bro. We don't want to hear nothing about y'all. We don't want to the 49
Me and Jamal are going to
hers.
have a bet
Dang.
of who will have a better record this season, Detroit or the 49ers.
I'm with
I've
that.
won every bet I've had against
He's
him.
such a liar. Oh my
We
God.
made a bet the very first time we talked to you on
And
the
we
Name
beat
Sports
y'all.
Show.
We had better yard. We
When
had
you-
better season than y'all.
When you weren't even a UFC fighter yet, we made a bet
I was always a UFC fighter.
in your heart. You actually were because you just won your Contender Series. We interviewed you after Contender Series, and we made a bet, and I beat you then. You haven't beat me in anything.
Bro, what planet do you live on?
You've lost every
what
bet. You
planet
lost
do
to
you
me
live on?
in
We
basketball
don't
in
even
your
bet.
own backyard.
Jeez, bro, you gonna do this every show?
Yes.
This is gonna be
Yes,
every
he
show.
is. He
You're gonna
is.
you gonna lie like this. Every,
I'm not
he
lying.
shot a basket in
And
my
I made it,
backyard,
and he shot it,
and
and
I
he missed.
shot one and missed, and now he beat me in
I
basketball.
beat him in basketball in his own backyard.
Absolutely wild work, nasty work.
These are fighting words.
Appreciate you, lovely ladies, coming on.
I'll take you on the
Nice to have-
octagon too. if I have
But
to.
hey, start behaving. All right, those misbehave women. We don't want that.
Absolutely not.
You behave.
Let them know where they can find you and find your podcast.
Yo,
Ladies.
Ladies.
We're on YouTube, Instagram, TikTok, the Misbehave Women podcast.
All righty. Make sure you follow them too. And comment and like and do everything. Subscribe. Do everything.
got interesting
Wanna do it
story
here?
times.
Yeah.
Very interesting story time. Some interesting date stories.
Well,
Yeah.
we will be back later in the week. I'm not sure what day. We're gonna try to maybe tomorrow, maybe Wednesday. We're gonna try to figure it out. But Charles Johnson texted me, said he does want to get on and talk to us. So we will do that. And what's his name? Other Johnson? Dante
Dante.
Johnson.
Yeah.
Try to get him in the studio.
Oh, that'd be cool.
And you know, talk about their fights, because honestly, both their fights were my favorite fights of the night
Me too.
for UFC 330. So
Yeah.
I want to dig into that more. But yeah, we appreciate everyone tuning in. We are out. We'll see you next time. Peace.